guys, welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. If you're new, thank you for checking out the channel. So Tyrone Magnus had a live interview with Zack Snyder, and I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but I'm definitely going to go back and finish watching all of it after I make this video. Tyrone has obviously been a huge supporter of Zack's movies from day one. He has a great channel. I've been watching, I've been a fan of his for a while. But there's an interesting clip on Twitter from that interview I'm sure there's a lot more to see, like I said, if you watch the whole interview. But in this clip in particular, Zack is talking about how he has not heard from Warner Brothers since Zack Snyder's Justice League came out. So let's listen to that.
I haven't heard from them at all. Like, from the day after I released the movie, I haven't gotten a phone call, or it's been radio silence. So I don't. The only communication was Anne's article after the movie was released, but that wasn't directly to me; it was to the people. And that was, yeah. I haven't heard from them at all.
So, wow. I mean, I guess to a lot of us, it doesn't come as a huge surprise, knowing everything that we know about what happened with the movie and how, even after the movie came out, Zack has been very honest about, even when he was finishing up Zack Snyder's Justice League, there was still a constant battle with the studio and them complaining that he wasn't doing what they wanted. Why aren't these jokes in there? Why aren't you why aren't you doing what we want? Not letting him use Green Lantern, not wanting him to film any additional scenes, which he did anyway. So even when he was finishing up Zack Snyder's Justice League, there was still, like he said, he described it as being tortured by the studio. Even finishing this movie knowing, like that's not the whole... That's like against the whole purpose of why his movie was supposed to come out in the first place. But wow, like they haven't, and even Deborah said in an interview not too long ago that they haven't told them anything about the numbers from, HBO Max, Warner Brothers. She said that they hadn't heard anything about that from either one of them, HBO Max or Warner Brothers, as far as the performance on the streaming service. And we've said so many times that, they never released anything publicly as far as numbers for Zack Snyder's Justice League, except from other countries and third parties and other services besides HBO Max. In countries outside of the U.S., other streaming services that it's available on. They have released things like that, but the U.S., headquarters of Warner Brothers or whatever you want to call it, HBO Max, they haven't released anything aside from, getting information from third parties. And some people might have thought, well, Zack and Deborah must have heard something from them. But no, it's not just the public that they haven't told anything to. It's Zack Snyder and his the director and his wife producing partner. Like, wow, that's terrible. Like, how do you treat people like that? And having like the most anticipated movie of the year. I'm going to put that label on Zack Snyder's Justice League because that's what it became. That's what it was. You're not going to say anything to them, even if you don't give them the numbers, which is still weird, but you haven't said anything. And like he said, the only thing he saw or heard was the Anne Sarnoff, when she came out with that article right after opening weekend, the Variety article saying that Zack Snyder, completed his trilogy for us. He's saying, but that wasn't even directly to me. That was, obviously they were kind of like trying to secondhandedly, tell him how they felt, or, from their perspective. But it wasn't something like a private conversation or something between Zack and the studio. Like I said, ever since the movie came out, he's been very honest and blunt about, the dealings and relationship with Warner Brothers. And I think now more than ever after the movie came out, and probably because of this, because the fact that he hasn't heard anything directly from them about what's going on, And like I said, I haven't watched the whole interview, but I did see another tweet regarding this interview that Zack said, we'll see what happens with Discovery. Yeah, so here's the tweet here. Geralt of Snyderverse, you know, he's, this account is obviously gives us a lot of good information about the Snyderverse. He says, Zack Snyder said, let's see what happens with Discovery in a live interview with Tyrone Magnus. So I'm going to go back and watch it and see where he says that. But, I mean, that's the only thing now left to see what's happening, what's going to happen with all of this. Regardless, even with the merger and everything happening, I do think it'll still be, if they decide to continue with restoring the Snyderverse, I do think it'll be a long time before we hear or see any movement on that. This merger is not even going to be finalized until like early next year. So I'm sure they're having discussions and talking about where they want, things that they want to do, of course. And it's going to be called Warner Brothers Discovery. But so I'm sure they're having all of those discussions and figuring everything out. And, you know, they're trying to figure out how they're going to merge everything together under one service, as far as like, you know, because Discovery has their own Discovery Plus, and with HBO Max, like they're trying to figure out how they're going to put everything together and offer it under one roof, for their all their stuff that they offer, that they're going to have now together under one thing. So I'm sure they're having those discussions and looking at what they want to, you know, what new stuff they want to offer or continue. I'm sure they're looking at all of that stuff, what has performed and what's getting the most interaction and attention. You can't ignore that. I mean, the first thing that, what's his first name? I think David Zaslav said at the, when all of this was coming out about the merger, was like, you have this amazing IP, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Those were the first things that he mentioned. So hopefully, you know, there's no way you can ignore, just because HBO Max and Warner Brothers don't want to release those numbers publicly. Well, now they're going to see all of that data. So, you know, they can't ignore all of that. But like I said, I do think it'll be quite a while before we hear or see any kind of movement on that. Hopefully, you know, Zack finds out something in the near future. But like I said, I think it'll be a while before they find all of that out. You know, that kind of stuff doesn't happen overnight just because a merger is taking place. So I do think it'll be quite a while. Okay, let me not forget another really important point that Zack said in the Tyrone Magnus interview before I upload this video. He said that there's going to be IMAX screenings for Zack Snyder's Justice League coming up in July. So hopefully we'll get more details about that soon. It's already, you know, beginning of June. So I don't know if it's going to be select theaters or what it's going to be, how long it's going to be for, but I'm super excited to hear more details about that. So I just wanted to add that in real quick before I upload this video. I'm going to go ahead and watch the rest of that interview. I recommend you do as well if you want to hear more of what Zack had to say. But thank you guys for watching. Check out the links in the description. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy my videos. And we'll see you next time.